If your child uses an iPad for browsing the web, chatting with friends, watching videos, or using social media, you may want a parental monitoring solution that gives you a better idea of what they're doing online. In this video, we'll look at some of the best iPad parental control and monitoring apps available in 2026, including options for both jailbroken and non-jailbroken iPads. Before we get started, it's important to remember that monitoring someone's device without their knowledge or permission may violate privacy laws depending on where you live. The tools discussed in this video should only be used on devices you own or are legally authorized to monitor, such as an iPad used by your minor child. With that said, let's look at the options. When it comes to monitoring an iPad, there are generally two approaches: jailbreak-based monitoring and non-jailbreak monitoring. Jailbreak-based monitoring requires you to jailbreak the iPad and install monitoring software directly on the device. Since the software runs on the iPad itself, it can potentially provide access to a wider range of activities and more advanced monitoring features. Non-jailbreak monitoring works differently. Instead of installing monitoring software directly on the iPad, these solutions generally rely on information available through the child's Apple account, iCloud backups, or other supported methods. They're usually easier to set up because you don't have to modify the iPad. However, the amount of information you can monitor may be more limited and depends on the data available through the account or backups. Let's start with the jailbreak-based option. First up is FlexiSPY, one of the most feature-rich monitoring solutions available for compatible jailbroken Apple devices. Once installed on a compatible iPad, FlexiSPY can provide access to monitoring information such as messages, contacts, browsing activity, location information, and other supported device data. Its biggest advantage is the range of advanced monitoring capabilities it can offer compared with typical non-jailbreak solutions. Depending on the iPad model, iPadOS version, jailbreak method, and subscription, it may provide deeper access to communications and activity across supported apps. FlexiSPY also offers customer support for users who need help checking device compatibility and setting up the software. However, jailbreak compatibility can vary considerably between different iPad models and versions of iPadOS. So, before purchasing FlexiSPY, make sure your child's specific iPad and software version are supported. If you need more advanced monitoring and have a compatible iPad, FlexiSPY is one of the options worth considering. Now, what if you don't want to jailbreak your child's iPad? That's where non-jailbreak monitoring solutions come in. The first option is mSpy. mSpy offers monitoring solutions for Apple devices that don't necessarily require you to jailbreak the iPad or install its full monitoring software directly on the device. Depending on the setup method and the data available through syncing or backups, parents may be able to view information such as contacts, messages, photos, videos, location information, and certain supported app activity. The main advantage of mSpy is convenience. You don't have to jailbreak or significantly modify the iPad just to get started. The trade-off is that monitoring capabilities can be more limited compared with software installed directly on a compatible, jailbroken device. Another option is KidsGuard Pro. KidsGuard Pro also offers monitoring solutions for Apple devices without requiring a jailbreak. Depending on the setup method and what information is available through the child's account or backups, it may provide access to messages, Safari browsing history, photos, videos, location information, communication records where available, and supported social media data. Like mSpy, its biggest advantage is that you can access useful monitoring information without having to jailbreak the iPad. So, which iPad monitoring app should you choose? If you want more advanced monitoring capabilities and have an iPad that's compatible with the required jailbreak and installation method, FlexiSPY is the option I'd consider first. If you don't want to jailbreak the iPad and prefer a simpler setup, mSpy would be my first choice among the non-jailbreak options. It's easier to get started with, although you should expect more limited monitoring capabilities compared with software installed directly on a compatible device. KidsGuard Pro is another option worth considering if you're specifically looking for a non-jailbreak solution. Keep in mind that features and compatibility can change over time, particularly with jailbreak-based monitoring tools. Before purchasing any service, check its current compatibility with your specific iPad model, iOS version, and the monitoring features you need. And that's it for the best iPad parental control and monitoring apps in 2026. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe to Spy Drill for more parental control, online safety, and device monitoring guides.